Welcome, family, to another installment of the Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know who I am him, Junes, the MBIC. Want to give all praise and glory to the heavenlies, for they are worthy to be what? To be praised. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all you guys for your continuous support. Leaving all that feedback, the positive, the negative, all things is respected and needed, because it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, you he-grows, and the newly installed heathenites. Next round of applause for that. Yeah, man. Up late, editing, recording, doing what I'm supposed to do. Definitely want to let you guys know I did a wonderful interview earlier today with two of my elders. These are two individuals that's been married for 30 plus years, 36 to be exact. And I had to do an interview. I was invited to their renewal of their vows, and I was honored to be able to participate in that and to see them be together for 30 plus years. It was only right. I got an interview from them, should I say, and I was able to, and it was a phenomenal one. They gave me a lot of feedback, a lot of wisdom, a lot of information that me myself, have to look into the mirror and, do some corrections, right? And that's the purpose of having your elders, where you reach out to your elders and they provide you with the information to better you in your path, in your journey, and also give you the guidance and help you avoid making the mistakes that you usually make being young and dumb and just want to have fun, right? But overall, it was a phenomenal interview. It was like 2 hours and a half going to 3 hours. Definitely got to edit that and, compile it together and make it look presentable, and definitely upload it for the young, the up and coming individuals who's embarking on relationships, getting a new girl, getting a new boyfriend, husband, getting married, and, just giving them some tools to ensure that their marriage can last 30 plus years, right? But other than that, it's phenomenal. You guys definitely should check out Semba Conversation. It was a wonderful conversation. Shout out to Black Girl Magic, man. She reached out to me on social media and she told me that, this Semba Conversation was a phenomenal one. It was touching. She also shed a tear. This is based on what she said, and it feels good, when I'm able to do stuff like that and just bring forth, documentaries and lectures and stuff to just raise the conscious level of our people, right? Black people is suffering. We at the bottom of the totem pole. We don't know what's the cause of our demise and what's keeping us behind. And like I say, in numerous lives, videos, broadcasts, podcasts, you name it, I claim it. One of the major issues that we're having that's preventing us from elevating is religion. And I know a lot of my people is subscribed to it. And I know a lot of you guys be like, why you mean religion? Ain't your podcast titled Repent or Die? Yes, that's the term our people use, because our people is very religious individuals, so you got to meet them where they at. So when a person that's sucked into religion hear the word repent, is instantly a gravitation to that word alone. They know repent means something so-called biblical or righteous or religious, but in reality, repent just means change. You feel me? Either you change or you going to die where you stand, So That's the whole reason. And of course, I have my own personal reasons, for those that have been following me from the very beginning. I've been in every door you can name it, I claim it. You understand? And just being where I'm at now, as far as knowledge and understanding, I'm realizing, and I'm breaking this Da Vinci Code, and I'm realizing that, the number one issue within the Black and brown community is religion. Religion is division, head-on collision to physical, spiritual, and mental prison. You feel me? So the goal is to release our brothers from the shackles of religion, the doctrines of foolish ideological men who's only copying and pasting what the oppressors has been telling us. We stepping away from that, right? We tapping into our spiritual side, our soulful side. We connecting to our creators, and we're gonna do the right thing according to African culture, El Cabulan culture, the colored land culture. You feel me? But that's enough with the introductions, man. On today's broadcast, I definitely wanted to touch base with you on a subject matter that it seems to be under the rug, seems to be a situation, a diagnosis that nobody's talking about. And what that is virtual autism. Yes, virtual autism is something that does exist. Virtual autism is just like regular autism, but is developed in a different way, right? Virtual autism is developed through excessive screen times and being absorbed to television, and just technology in general is creating virtual autism within the youth and also adults. Yes, we as an adults are suffering from virtual autism, where if you don't have your phone, you might go crazy, right? People can't function without their phones. Like, seriously, we can't function without our phones, and that's a major problem, when phones is the least of our worries. You understand? But I definitely wanted to dive in onto that and let brothers and sisters know about this phenomenon that's happening worldwide. And I remember when a brother brought this to my attention, he says, yeah, man, stop exposing your child to these devices. They're going to end up being virtually autistic. I said, what? He said, yeah. He also said it boldly. He said, you are virtually autistic. I said, what you mean by that? He said, the fact that you need your phone with you while you in Mother Nature working out shows that you have a low diagnostic of virtual autism. And when he said that, I said, wait, what? And I had to look these things up. And lo and behold, there's really something called virtual autism. And I definitely wanna read to you and tell you more about this virtual autism. But without further ado, let's just dive right in, right? Cool. What is virtual autism? A comprehensive guide. Okay? This is the real deal, people. All right? So just know we're gonna just get an in-depth understanding about such, right? It says, understanding virtual autism. In today's digital age, understanding how screen exposure impacts child's development is essential. This is especially true when considering conditions such as virtual autism, a concept that has garnered attention in recent years. As you can see, this is something that's been brewing for a very long time. And even my oldest son at one point suffered from virtual autism. You understand? This is before me even knowing what, virtual autism was. But my son was affected behind it. You understand? And when I read and give you some more in depth about virtual autism and the signs and what does it do, you know, that was my son. You know what I'm saying? My son had a very, very severe speech delay. My son did not start speaking until he was literally 4 years old, going on 5. I'm talking about speaking to the point where he's saying the little things like dada, mommy, okay. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it has to do with the exposure to these devices. You know what I'm saying? I had my son at a young age playing the computer, watching sports and video games and all that from a very young age. And now as I'm getting older, doing my studies and my research, a lot of things is starting to make sense. You feel me? But we're just gonna continue reading. We'll dive into that a little later on. Let us continue. It says virtual autism versus autism spectrum disorder, known as ASD, right? Virtual autism is a term used to describe a condition believed to occur when a child is under the age of 3 or exposed to excessive screen time, leading to symptoms similar to those found in autism spectrum disorder, ASD. However, it's crucial to note that virtual autism differs from ASD, with primarily distinction being the cause. Okay? What is virtual autism? All right? It says, while ASD is a neurodevelopment disorder with genetic and environmental causes, virtual autism is a condition linked to a child's environment, especially the excessive exposure to screens. Therefore, virtual autism is not a formal diagnosis like ASD, but rather a description of a set of behaviors and symptoms thought to be triggered by heavy screen exposure, right? Screen exposure and development. Excessive screen time, defined as 4 or more hours a day, can cause problems in a child's developing brain, leading to cognitive issues, speech delay, and mental disorders. Increased screen time in young children is also associated with other negative health outcomes, including impaired language development, mood swings, and behaviors resembling that seen in ASD. Now, that behavior that is seen in ASD, I remember putting up numerous videos of a so-called child that's on the spectrum beat his para up because she took away his Nintendo Switch. I also posted up a video where a 12-year-old killed her cousin because of an iPhone. I also posted up a video of a little boy and I think a preteen, like 11, 12, was cursing at their mother because their mother said it was time to turn off these devices and go to bed. I mean, literally just barking at their moms. Like, go to bed, you go to bed right now, etc., etc. And I'm standing there like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, it was that severe. I mean, I don't have the videos. I got them saved somewhere in my archives, but these things are signs of children suffering from virtual autism. I also had a video where children were sleeping, but they were sleeping like in a comatose with their hands in their hands and they scrolling up. I'm talking about like this. No devices in their hands, right? And last but not least, what made me even speak about this was a video I seen on TikTok where 2 brothers, one 22, the other one was 17, try to kill their biological mother and father, like literally try to kill them. Now, what does that have to associate with virtual autism? The mood swings, these exposures to these devices, playing these games, and then you add it up with listening to the music, and then you add that up with the excessive drug use, and then you add that up with the fact that today's generation don't have no connection with their ancestors, the universe, and the creators of this universe. You're seeing what's happening. So I was compelled to really talk about this. So this is the reason why I had to talk about this virtual autism. But let us continue. All right. It says excessive screen time defined as 4 more hours a day can cause problems. Oh no, we read that already. All right. So excessive screen exposure and outcomes. You got cognitive impact, reduced cognitive abilities. You got language development, impairs language skills. You got behavior issues, which is equal to ASD-like behaviors. Then you have mood, which leads to having mood swings or disorders, right? It says these findings underscores the importance of limiting screen times in early years of life. It is critical to encourage activities that promote cognitive, language, and social development. Understanding the concept of virtual autism can help guide decisions about media use in young children and mitigating potential risks associated with excessive screen exposure. Effects of excessive screen time in the digital age. It's important to understand the potential effects of excessive screen time on young children, particularly in relation to a condition known as virtual autism. This section will delve into the cognitive, language, and behavior impacts of too much screen exposure. The cognitive impact. Too much screen exposure, defined as 4 more hours a day, can cause problems in the developing brain of a child, leading to cognitive issues. It's associated with the decreased cognitive abilities, affecting the child's capability for thought, understanding, learning, and also memory. Prolonged screen times can impact the child's ability to focus, reason, and make decisions. Language development. Excessive screen exposure can also lead to the impaired language development. A study found that children who spend more than 3 hours per day in front of screens had language delay, while those who spent less than 3 hours still experienced language delay. Language delay refers to a delay in the development use of the mechanisms that produce speech. Now, this right here is something that I have to sit down with my whiz, and we're gonna have to come into an understanding or have a discussion about the screen time, because my son, who's only 1 and change, we're not saying that he's in front of a screen. Like we keep him active. He's reading books in the morning. He's outside. He's tuning in with Mother Nature. But there's times where we are on our phones or we are on the phone making phone calls, FaceTime, and there's times where he's eating, and even for 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? He's watching something, Miss Tab to be exact, or we're playing stuff like Bob Marley for him, where the sound is good for his mental capacity, right? His mental development. The sound, the frequencies, the vibrations is on high. It's not low frequencies, not the negative, rah, gothic, killing, murder type of time. Like, we don't even play those type of things within the household. You understand? But still, a discussion needs to be had between my wife and I when it's pertaining to the exposure of our child on these TV screens, even if it's for 20 minutes, right? being on the phone with family members, even if it's for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, right? Or and being on the phone, on checking our phones, social media, while our child is next to us. A conversation really needs to be had. It's going to be difficult for me because I'm a content creator. I'm always developing content, always commentating, people sending me stuff, people is asking for consultant information, knowledge, understanding. So when it comes to this social media platform, you know what I'm saying, I have to put myself out there, but I might have to figure it out, like treat this like it's a full-time job. Like, okay, honey, he's home with you. I'm gonna step outside. I'm gonna go to the car. I'm gonna go to a public settings. I'm gonna go somewhere where I can do my content, but yet minimize the exposure to my child, right? And like I said, this is just a conversation that, we need to have. But we're going to continue. Now we're going to continue. Let us continue. I don't want to be too much about me, right? So these are the screen times, which leads to language delay. It says more than 3 hours, language delay. Yes. Less than 3 hours, language delay. Yes. Behavior issues. It says increased screen times in young children can also lead to a range of behavioral issues. This includes mood issues and autistic-like behaviors such as hyperactivity, short attention span, and their irritability. Moreover, excessive technology used amongst toddlers significantly contributes to the behavioral and the development challenges, potentially leading to virtual autism. Now, here are the behavioral issues, right? And likely with excessive screen time. It says mood issues, yes. Hyperactivity, yes. Short attention span, yes. Irritability, yes. Okay? These effects underscore the importance of managing and limiting screen times in young children. By understanding the potential impacts of excessive screen exposure, parents and caregivers can take steps to ensure a healthy balance of screen time and other developmental activities. Okay? It says reversing virtual autism symptoms. Virtual autism, a concern that has come to light in the digital age, can have profound effects on a child's cognitive and behavioral development. However, it's important to note that the symptoms often reverse when proactive measures are taken, such as eliminating screen exposure and enhancing quality times and interactions. Now, we don't know that virtual autism exists. I didn't know. And if I didn't know, I'm sure you guys didn't know. My lady is in this field and she doesn't even know about this. When I brought it to her attention today, she said, "What? Never heard of that." So this, like I said, this is a new phenomenon that's taking place right now as we speak. And I see a lot of my people exposing their children. I'm talking about as young as 1 year old, exposing them to these devices, these iPads. And even though you got them watching cartoons and educational things, a lot of these things are designed to mess with the minds of a child. When you look at these children's shows, it's very colorful. Everybody's all over the place. Nobody's sitting down. Nobody is learning as far as having discussion amongst each other. These things are no longer prevalent in today's TV shows. You understand? It's not like how it was when we was growing up. When I was growing up, Big Bird, it was too goddamn big to be moving around. He sat down like a bird and spoke to the children. They was reading books. They was doing all of that. You're not getting that no more, right? A lot of these shows now is just running around causing mayhem. This is like the reincarnation of the Tasmanian devil, just all over the place. And when you see today's children can't sit still. They're all over the place. They can't function. They can't focus. And it's a major issue. And a lot of our, mothers and fathers and the caregivers don't realize that all of this is coming from the exposure of these devices, which is now being titled virtual autism, a situation that we need to get in front of, right? We need to understand what we're doing to our children, and to reverse it is simple. Just take away the screen time. Invest your time with your child. You did not put a child on the earth to be frustrated, or you got other things to do, so you want to do what you need to do in peace. So you give your child a device so they can sit down and be quiet, when in reality the objective was to do what you had to do now. Live your best life, stack all your bread, so when you do have this child, you can put your focus on this child, right? Devote yourself, be committed to your child. There's no job, there's no boss, there's no career that's more important than your child. There's no investment better than the investment that you put into your child. And we're not talking about financial investment. We're talking about time and effort, okay? These are the things that a child needs. Children don't care less about money. Children could care less about materials. Children will always remember the unconditional love and support that a mother or a father gives to that child. And those are the things that should be the forefront and the only focus on us as the caregivers, as the father and mother, right? So to fix these problems is simple. Take away these devices from these children. Me personally, I think a child should not have access to a phone, an iPad, or even a laptop until they're literally 18 years old. Until their mind is developed to the point where they can make cognitive decisions, executive decisions, without it being a blur, without it being off emotions, without it being done unrighteously. You understand? We really, that's just me. And I feel like this is something that we all should do. I think that every mother or father, caregiver should think about that. For the sake of your child, this is something that should be thought about. Because this autism thing, whether it's virtual or physical, is happening at a fast rate, people. Fast rate. Somebody sent me an article and it said within the year 2030, 2026 or 2027, it is estimated that half of the children in the United States of America will have some development, some cognitive development issues, and will be diagnosed with some form of autism. Whether it's physical, mental, I'm sure they got a spiritual one. Hey, black people really suffering from spiritual autism. You know what I'm saying? But something, they ain't saying half of the children in America will be diagnosed with some form of autism. That is a problem. That is a problem. And I can tell you the origin of particular ones, just like I'm telling you what's causing the virtual issues. And we as the caregivers, as the mother and the fathers, we gotta really think about that. We gotta really think about, how is we more advanced in technology and medicine, but the more advanced, the shorter the lifespan. The more advanced, The more advanced, the more children is being diagnosed with things that was unheard of. I'm gonna give you an example. Me growing up, I don't recall people wearing glasses. I remember being in school, and in every class, it was only one child that wore glasses. One person. Now, it's literally, if there's 10 children, at least 3 to 5, or maybe even 6 are wearing glasses. This is facts. Or if they're not wearing glasses, they need glasses. This is facts, people. This is a phenomenon that's happening right in front of our eyes. Things that we should be really researching and studying and understand. Like, this is not normal. Something is going on. And we're not trying to check it because we're so focused on ourselves, and we be forgetting about our children. We thinking our children supposed to figure it out. Children can't figure nothing out. A child is still a child until they get kicked out of the house. You understand? Even if that person is in their 30s, they're still a child, because they don't understand the harsh reality of being alone, figuring it out alone, not having anybody to run to. You understand? Until those things happen, you're still considered a child. And I'm just talking universal law. I'm not even talking my beliefs and how I feel. This is just universal law, right? A man's supposed to find a wife, and they leave their parents' house, they come together and become one flesh. You understand? Leave the parents' house. So even though they are adults, and they are adults statistically, on paper, on documentations, but in reality, according to the universe, they still considered a child, right? So I say all of that to say this: virtual autism is something real. I would definitely put the link in the description where you can read its whole totality for yourself. But these things is real. I say these things so individuals could get in front of it, so they won't receive the backlash. You understand? Be there for your children, man. Love your children. Your children is a very special creation. People is dying to have children every day, and the fact that the creators was able to give you one, embrace that, honor that, love that, and give your child what they deserve. And what they deserve is you and your time, not a device and the device time, because that's the wrong time. And when they at the wrong time, they ain't gonna never know when it's time to come inside. You understand? But please like, comment, share, subscribe, join the movement, join the membership, be a part of this. If it's your first time, people, I hope it's not your last time. If it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, that means I'm still on your mind. That means we gotta stay on that grind, because it's time to shine. And hey, you guys better get yours, because I'm going to get mine. And if I said this once, let me say it again. I am him, Junes, the NBIC, aka Mr. Keep My Foot on You Heathens, You He-Gros, and the Nudian Store, Heathen Night Snacks. Are you dumb, or are you dumb? Listen to one half of the creators say it. Are you dumb? And I'ma holler at you guys. One.